Well, we're going to work on getting this thing unloaded. We need a red shirt like you got on there, bud.
Yeah, send me some up. I guess I'll get your name from you.
Sure. Yeah.
We got new ones that are red here.
Look at that.
Get you some of them too.
Yeah. Flex fit. That's snazzy.
Fit anybody's head.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get this thing unloaded. They have to ship it without these flotation tires on there because of the width, obviously. And yeah, gotta do away with that phone call. There we go. So we've got some other parts here that the dealer had them ship along with this load. So he's getting his flagging off. We're gonna get the tires off his front deck there, and then he's gonna detach, and we'll pull this off of here and then take their narrow tires off and put the flotation tires on. But they ended up putting the hitch on the back to match the injector that we had on the Jamesway spreader. That was kind of a custom build there, just so that we could use our old injector on it. And it looks like they did an awesome job on that. Look at the size of the bolts that are in them on that linkage there. Those are some pretty snazzy bolts there. You see the size of those?
1 3/4, man.
1 3/4. So we're gonna work on getting this thing unloaded and pull it off of there. All right, we're getting these tires unloaded off of his front deck here. They're quite the tire. I'm gonna get it out of park here. Alright, so it looks like everything is unloaded off of the trailer. Now he's just going to detach from the front of the trailer, and I don't know if we're going to be able to reach that with the tractor or not. Might be able to hit the hitch height once we back up on there, but we might have to pull it a little ways ahead with the chain on the telehandler. So he's going to detach here, and then we're going to pull it off and swap the tires around here. All right, we're getting this last wheel on here, and then we're gonna go through and torque everything up. They put the top extension on there. Jared's just getting hoses hooked up here now. And this gentleman's gonna be able to run back to Canada here tonight. Once we get the wheels torqued, we'll run down and we'll hook the injector on. Well, we're gonna take this down and hook it up to the injector. Got the tires the wheels all torqued, hoses hooked. So this is the injector here that we had on the Jamesway. This is the Ortel injector, the injector that Ortel built here last year. It's just a year old now, and what we're hoping is these hookups hook up, so match up. So we've got some snow in the way here. So we're hoping that we can get lined up here. We might have to come down and move the, look at that axle. That really walks right there. Come on, that pile of stuff there. Whoa, lift up. Yeah, straight back. Gotta come my way. Yeah, he's off a little bit, but it might match. Whoa, lift up a little bit. Back up. All right, whoa, whoa. All right, he's got to take the rear end to the right. Whoa, right there. Go down a little bit. Whoa. All right, back up. Take the rear end to the right. Yep. Rear end to the left. Hold it. Rear end to the left. Whoa. Back to the right. Whoa. All right, straight up. All right, as easy as that. And then we've just got to put some bolts in to bolt that down in the back. Oh, your measurements work, Dan.
Pretty close.
Yeah, you got a good tape measure, huh?
Right there.
Oh, he did the measuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So that's why he stayed way over there. He waited to make sure it was going to work before he was getting a hold of his Uber in case he had to walk home, huh?
Yes.
glad they're slotted holes. Yep. Yep, that's why I built them that way. Don't have to be perfect.
All right, so we're gonna get them bolts in there and we're gonna start using this here tomorrow. So we'll join back up with you tomorrow once we get the first load in it here.
Oh, look at that.
Well, this is going to be the first load. It's raining right now. We're just going to run a couple loads through it and get set up and make sure we're ready to go for when the conditions are a little better. It has been overly dry here and a little bit of drizzle and rain that we're getting right now is not going to hurt anything. This would be good for a tire. Spilled a little bit already. There's bars down in there to keep anybody from falling in. We might have to cut them out just to cut down on the spatter. The frac tank set up over here, but we're gonna wait and use that once the conditions are a little better. We're just supposed to be getting rain for a few hours today, then it's supposed to clear off again. This is a slight problem with them bars in there. And they want to make sure they're dumping straight in because of the way that hopper is designed. There's a little lip on there and it's splattering on it a little bit. They need to have it directly centered. It's just about empty. And we're getting spattered on a little bit here. I don't think I got anything on the camera yet. Pulp on the truck is starting to cavitate a little bit. And he is now empty. Tank has got just enough room to spare there. If his spout was back a little farther, it would have helped things a little bit because that sloped a little bit on that side. So I better get down off here before Jared takes off. I'll be riding on top of the tank. Ugh. It's nice having the ladder on the side of the tank opposed to the front or the back. Why don't we jump in with Jared here and Alright, the injector's just went in the ground. Hold up a minute. Alright, right when you turn the PTO on, it ended up blowing that hose off that hose barb up top. So now we've got the wonderful job of trying to get it back on there while we're in the field. So it's a good thing we're monkeying with this on a day like today rather than when the weather is utterly awesome here. So well, I better give these guys a hand here. Right when he engaged the PTO, I seen a little whisker of a squirt, and the other spreader would do that once in a while because it had a breather up on the pipe so that the pipe would drain out. It was kind of like a reverse check valve, and I thought maybe that's what I was seeing, and whatever, he stopped and that hose was off of there, and it was pushing manure right out through the pipe and not through the injector. So we're gonna have to get that top clamp a little tighter, and we'll have to put him up in here and try it before we end up getting down there on the hill. That was close to the road. So I suppose I could jump up on there with my little wrench, give you a hand, right? Okay, so we tested it out to make sure the hose was gonna stay on there up at the top of the field. Now we're on the far side where we want to be, and he's going to get after it again here, and it blew off again. Alright, we ended up having to bolt them inserts in the hose in there. We had clamps and wired clamps on there, but the
so it's got to be turned before it's perfect.
Them wired type clamps, we haven't had to do that before. But this pump has got a little more pressure to it than what our other pumps are. Now this is the hose that came with it, and on these style clamps here, we have bolted them in the past just because they don't have as much squeezing power. So we're gonna muscle this on there. I better get with these guys. So they're gonna have to turn that a little bit to get this elbow in there. We're gonna get that clocked. So we're gonna set you guys down here, and we're gonna have to fight that in there. What's that there, Travis?
It's not very safe to walk on in the rain.
Yeah, I know. There's no. We've got some of that tape back at the shop. We should put that on there. Alright, they muscled that top piece on there, and now we've got to try to get this other piece on. We might have to use the telehandler to get that into place. Well, that went, all right, hold it, there's dirt in there. Well, it went. All right, get that clamp on there, and now we can try this again. Okay, we're gonna try this again. This is the third attempt Jared ended up moving the frac tank over so that the guys could get the tankers unloaded that were here. And now we're just going to get this tank unloaded and get that frac tank empty, and then we'll get after things after this rain quits. So we're using Green Star for auto steer, and we're mapping our coverage so that in the event that we come back into this field at a later date and we don't get it completely covered today, we'll know what we need to go back to. Seems to be leaving a little more manure on top of the ground than what we like. We're going to have to adjust the downforce for that injector. So that is now empty. And this hitch on the back of this spreader might be running at a different height, so we're going to have to play with that a little bit. I can see that right now. Alright, Jared has a frac tank that's loaded, so he's going to get that empty, and then we're going to go back at this tomorrow when the conditions are a little better here. We've got to make some adjustments to the injector itself to get that to go in the ground a little farther. And once the conditions are a little better, we'll get back to spreading here. So far that seems to be a real good unit. It was nice to get things going here today when the conditions were off a little bit, so we're not wasting time on a good day. But that pump puts out so much more manure that that hose just couldn't handle it with the type of clamp that was on there without it being bolted. So he's got a full load on there. You can see the little ball on the top of that one float valve there is come up a little bit, and his gauge on the front says full. So, well, there's Sarah taking up the whole road. She's heading over to do some damage control. Got a sheriff right behind her, and here I am videoing. Oh well. Well, hopefully Jared waits for her to get there, because she's going to have to ride home with him.